In this weekly 5, I want to look at the T-TESS Dimension 1.4, which relates to activities. Now, like all of Dimension 1, this is the planning aspect of it all. And I really think it falls into a lot of the philosophy of Philip Schlechte. He has a lot of different quotes that kind of fit along this line. I like the one I put down here, that the art and science of teaching is found in the design of work for students that appeals to the motives they bring to the work and results in their learning what the teacher expects them to learn. And so Schlechte, in a lot of his philosophy and a lot of his teaching, discusses the need to create activities that get students involved in a very meaningful way. And so in this, when you're planning, is that the idea is that you're planning engaging, flexible lessons that encourage higher order thinking, persistence, and achievement. And so when you see it moving from the proficient level to the distinguished level, what you see is that in proficient, you've got them in groups, you have them asking questions, you have activities that take advantage of technology to the greatest extent possible. But if you want to have a very distinguished group, you need to make sure that you are, I guess, manipulating the system so that students are engaged in higher level thinking skills to the extent possible, that the groups that you put together are based upon student needs. And I like the idea of purposeful groups. So if you're coming in saying, hey guys, get into whatever group's most convenient for you, that's not the best thing that's going to happen right here. You need to know where the student is and put groups together for a purpose to take advantage of that situation to get students to achieve to a higher level. And certainly within that too is trying to align it with both the TEKS and with the technology skills that the student needs somewhere later on. So what do teachers need to make sure that they pay attention to is that they need to make sure that they put together a plan that's designed to get students to get into more depth with whatever activity that they're doing. And because activities are often in groups, is that we need to do it in a purposeful fashion so that we're taking advantage of what the student needs both academically and social emotionally as well. We want to make sure that we build these groups and create these expectations within the groups so that they are mutually supportive. And to what extent possible, you want them to take ownership of their own learning to the extent possible as well. And with anything that you do, you want to make sure that is aligned with the essential knowledge and skills that the student needs to know and the state says that they need to know. From an administrative perspective, when you walk into the room, you're going to look at whether or not that the grouping is based upon student needs and social development. You want to make sure that the students in those groups understand the roles they're supposed to play, that everything is aligned, not only to the TEKS, but we want to align with authentic learning opportunities, that there are shared goals within the groups, that students understand what they're doing, that they have bought into it, and it's something that between the teacher and the student they've developed, and that ultimately it leads to more depth, and with that depth that understands the students show problem solving and persistence in moving forward. At UT Tyler, we want to do whatever we can to help you be successful. Let us know what we can do.